Pokemon Day 2025, guys.
0 to 5.
We've all seen it. It came out this morning. We're just here now together to just take a look over some of the stuff and kind of discuss our opinions, basically. A little bit of a discussion with the boys. As per usual, I am Circuit, also known as Jeremiah, and I am gathered here today by a couple of very cool dudes. First up, we got Marcus, also known as FleshMayFail or ScreenTime.
Hello.
And we have Skylar, also known as Skyguy.
Your resident white shirt wearer who never wears a white shirt.
Now you might be
I've never seen you in a
wondering,
white shirt. You're right.
why have you heard these voices before? Well, these guys are in our D&D podcast. You're looking at Saren and Sabas themselves in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wondering what the fuck am I talking about, you need to go watch our D&D podcast, The Reclamation. A little bit of a little insert there for us.
Retweet.
But that's not the topic for today. No. Today we are going to be going over Pokemon Day. We had some very mid announcements and some very great announcements. I only say mid because they deal with the games I don't play. So,
You're not wrong.
looking at it, we have Concierge.
Which is great.
It's
a
great.
nice show.
Nice show. Go watch it. You know what? We'll give it what it deserves.
Presentation.
It's the Netflix series Pokemon Concierge. Taking place at the Pokemon Resort on a tropical island, the story follows Haru, who is
Stop
still finding
motion
her
will
feet
always
as a new
have a
concierge,
special place
and
in my
Psyduck
heart.
as they grow
It's
together
just so
through their interactions
unique.
with the resort's Pokemon guests. Its
They've
charm
managed
lies in the warm
to
visuals that can
make
be
it
achieved only
extra
through stop
cute
motion
and
animation.
not
And new
unsettling.
episodes of Pokemon Concierge are
Yeah.
in production. They are slated for release
Agreed.
in September 2025. What sort of Pokemon will Haru and Psyduck welcome as guests next? Take a first look at a few of the Pokemon they will meet in
I
this
love
motion
this.
test
I love this
footage.
behind the scenes stuff.
Just look at the personality and how they move. But there's more. For a limited time, the first 4 episodes are available to watch on Pokemon's official YouTube channel for free. Please take this chance to watch them if you haven't been able
I
to
gotta
tune
do
into
that.
Pokemon Concierge
I'm
yet.
gonna watch the
And we
first
hope
4
you look
episodes.
forward to the new episodes as well.
And like, it's so low stakes. You know, when you watch a TV show
Hello,
and you're like, I gotta catch up, I gotta know this, I gotta know that. This is just like very, very chill.
Yeah. It's you've seen it, right, Skylar? I think you've talked about
I
it
binged
before.
it, all of it one
Yup.
day. I was very, very impressed. It was like one of those serene moments where you're just like, I found a hidden gem.
Well, even like the way that Arcanine looked. Let's head back.
My favorite part is the
Full chance
oceans.
to episodes
They
are
look
available.
so pretty.
Motion test footage. Just look at the personality and
I mean,
It's really impressive.
that's pretty good. The Pokemon Go stuff, very cool if you play the game still. The Masters EX, very cool if you play the game. Cafe Mix, pretty cool if you play the game. Pokemon
I mean,
Sleep,
It is cute.
pretty good if you don't really play Pokemon Sleep, so I don't know. I don't know
Pretty
what to
good
say
if you
here.
sleep.
Who's sleeping? Huh? Who's sleeping here?
Regular sleep
I mean-
schedules in 2025.
Absolutely not. But see what's coming next. This next one, I personally,
Now,
We knew-
I love Suicune.
we knew Suicune was coming. Everybody knew Suicune was coming. It was these other ones that I didn't know. I didn't know we were getting Raichu. I did not know we were getting Alcremie either.
How come they don't get cute little outfits?
So they probably will at some point, but there's an
Remote
event going
Stadium
on
will be
right
returning
now,
to ranked
and
matches.
this, the
Enjoy
original
intense
map
battles
is
in
now
the
coming back as the
unforgettable
ranked
Remote
map.
Stadium. A new type of battle is also arriving, called First to
And
500.
a new
In
game
it,
mode.
a
I
new
haven't
feature
tried it
called
yet. I
Videos
still need to load into the
technology allows
game.
you to gain special effects
But
when you
apparently
score
a lot of
certain
people are
number of points.
loving
Plus, look
this.
forward to an updated map with updated wild Pokemon.
And this is
The
gonna
win
be great.
condition is simple. Be the first to score 500.
It'll be a lot of fun. Not a whole lot to really go deep in analysis with. I mean, it's Pokemon Unite. It's your classic. These cards look really good.
Yeah, I do like the look.
The T-Tar, dude. The T-Tar drops tomorrow. I have enough hourglasses for a 10 pull. That don't forget to log in. You get 3 free packs with at least a 4 diamond rarity card in it. Plus, starting tomorrow for the next like week or something like that, we're getting for the next month, we're just getting a bunch of more. And at the end of March, we get ranked battles.
Yep.
And then the actual TCG update here. I don't play the actual TCG because I enjoy having a financial status of some kind positive.
Says the Magic player.
I don't even collect that much Magic cards anymore. Not until the Final Fantasy set drops.
Right.
But I will say, the fact that they're bringing Megas back into the actual card game has a lot of TCG players like freaking out. Like, the market's done, dude. Shit's fucked already. And with then this is just boom.
By the way, that's an instant lose. If
In
you get
pocket.
knocked out,
That's 3
Pocket.
points.
yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is pocket.
Well, but these aren't coming to Pocket. These are going to actual TCG.
Oh.
Those are like the real life cards TCG game.
Oh, my bad.
Next,
My bad.
Would be an instant lose in Pocket. Yes, you are right.
Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon
And then
Violet
this
game. We're
useless
celebrating Pokemon
update
Day
nobody
with a
cares
Rotom
about.
phone case giveaway.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
that's-
leave my Rotom phone covers alone. I won't update
choice.
my
Along
game
with a
to
mass
get them.
outbreak event and
If
other
I still play
in-
Scarlet and
Okay.
Violet, this part might have. I would have liked the rest of this if I still played Scarlet and Violet.
Skeledirge, and
No, but all of this is to inform what's coming later, right? They're like, remember, you can come back to this game to get these things for what's coming up.
Plan to appear in the future.
Yeah, because I mean, you can get all of these and
We hope you
take them
continue
into
to enjoy the
Champion,
Pokemon Scarlet
which
and
is
Pokemon
what's
Violet
gonna be
games.
coming up next.
Next, please have a look at
Which,
this video.
as we get in, I'm just gonna state it now. They had no right to go this fucking hard on a commercial.
I guess it makes me mad because it's nostalgia bait, right? People go into this and they're looking at this and they're like, "Hey, are you gonna put this on Switch? Am I gonna be able to play these games on Switch? Is that what you're telling me?"
Well, yeah, when you first see, but then like, there's already Pokemon Stadium on NSO. So as soon as I saw Pokemon Stadium, I'm like, they're not bringing the old games in because we already have that. And then I saw this, I'm like, we're not even close to getting Wii games. But yeah, that first
having a 3DS.
little bit with the Game Boy, I was like, ain't no way that rumor's true.
Not yet, because this year's the 29th anniversary,
True,
right?
true. We'll give them till next year to port everything over.
Right. Next year they gotta like go big.
I will say though, they've basically confirmed that you're gonna be able to do stuff with your Pokemon from Za is gonna be able to be here because they show off the Mega Charizard.
I mean, we had Mega Charizard all the way back in X and Y, so
Right, but not everybody had the like smarts to transfer all of it to Pokemon Bank, then up to Pokemon Home.
I think I agree. I think the main point was for sure that you can have all of them. So we're
Yeah.
gonna get Z moves. We're gonna get Terrestrialization. We're gonna
That's
get
what
Mega.
I was wondering. Are we gonna
think
get
we get 'em all,
Z-moves?
man.
I would be shocked if we didn't.
I think we get them all.
So
I think that it's definitely going to be these two. I don't know if they've gone out to go get everything.
let's talk about that for a moment because I know we have a lot of opinions about that trailer and about this game.
As many as we can have. You're right.
Right. It's still very early, but we were talking about this earlier a little bit in our chat this afternoon, and this is very much, I think this is going to end up being one of those games that is just a cesspool for all of the people who try too hard.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a
Am I wrong?
crazy statement.
No,
I mean-
I think you're right. I think everybody who like trains their EVs, trains their IVs, brings people from, this is my Bulbasaur that I've been like, it's going to be the sweatiest game you've ever seen in your life.
But that also comes from my thought that this could be the future of the World Tournament, the VGC, the Video Game Championship for Pokemon. Because right now they're just doing double battles in Scarlet and Violet, which is a Switch thing. So with this going on iOS and Android, it opens up a wider thing for the Pokemon World Championship, because Unite is on both phones and Switch, and that one is showing higher numbers, I think. I could be wrong, but I mean,
I think that this game, here's why I'm saying I don't think this is going to be, are there going to be sweats? Yes, but there are sweats in every game. I think this is going to be the way that Pokemon wants to reach everyone who likes Pokemon battles, but doesn't like how you have to get to it in a competitive format, right? Because everyone knows that the first time you ever play it in a competitive format game, in a Pokemon game, you queue up, you get smoked by someone who has 6 perfect IV, perfect item, perfect moveset, buff comps that you can't beat it, right? So I think this way is a way to introduce to the masses a way to easily either IV the Pokemon or set like a baseline standard so everyone can just have a Pokemon battle and either play ranked or casually, right? And have fun with your favorite Pokemon, right? Without having to worry about, oh, all my Pokemon are gone in this region in 4 years anyway, what's the point? Or, this Pokemon's going to be banned, so on and so forth, right? This is like their way of being able to accomplish that. And on the phone. That is fucking insane. Pardon my French. Wow. We just said we are okay with it not being on the Switch here. That is the first time that Nintendo has ever said that that's okay.
It is interesting that you'll be able to play the game from your phone. But I don't know how I feel about isolating the battle part and separating it from the rest of the Pokemon game that we have become accustomed to having. It's an experience altogether. So you start breaking up the battle part of it and you take it over here. Are people going to be drawn to do that just because you can battle your friend? Are they going to take that away from your ability to do so in the games? What is the path here?
I agree. I kind of get some of your concerns. I am of the opinion that this is going to be something like, they're going to introduce this. This holds the longevity of all of your old Pokemon, right? So you're not just like abandoning that. So it's good for people who like their collection. And it doesn't, I don't think this really affects the mainline Pokemons in their competitive formatting. Because, I mean, you still are going to have the audience that want the fresh new stuff in a controlled tight format, right? The new game. And then you're gonna have all the people that are like, okay, well, I want to make a team out of 13 different generations, and you can't do that in the new game, right? So it offers you an alternative to both. And there could be a lot of silly formats. That's the part we haven't talked about. Is we could have triple battles. We could have rotating battles.
I was gonna bring that up. We could be getting the fun
swarm battles. I mean, like there's some really crazy stuff that they could do here with Champions that you couldn't do before without having it be a core concept in a mainline game.
So would you think that this could possibly be, instead of it being like a Pokemon Stadium game, you could think of this as like a battle tower that everyone can participate in.
I think this is a Battle Frontier. I genuinely think this has the potential to be a Battle Frontier type game, where you can just play tons of different PvP, different options, and just you could even do one where you've draft formats, right? Where you and 5 other people draft a team, then you battle out in 1v1s all the way up to a tournament. You know, like there's a lot of really good options here. Do they choose to capitalize them? I don't know, but
Do you think they would do the thing where you would bring your Pokemon in and say it resets everybody to 50? Everybody's at level 50.
Yeah,
no
so that'd
matter
be
what.
like a strict draft, right? So if you do Rento Pokemon, right, that's when that format would be applicable, where you'd like either draft the team or be given a set 6 Pokemon that are all level 50 and you fight it out. I think they'll probably have to do some sort of level restriction stuff because of math, right? If you, I mean, I guess you could do an unrestricted format where you could have 1 through 100, but yeah, we'll see.
But a total mayhem should be separate.
There will definitely be different like lobbies. 50 level lobby, like I believe like every 10 levels will be its own lobby.
I think 10 levels is probably too much. Maybe 20, maybe like 30, 50, 75, and 100.
Oh.
Or, I mean, to be brutally honest, I don't know why you wouldn't just have fights at 100 anyway. Like, what's more fun fighting at 30 than fighting at 100? What's the like advantage there? Maybe there are less Pokemon with certain evolutions, but you can still have an evolved Pokemon at that level. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find.
That's something that has to be ironed out. Yeah.
It's so there's like, can you do it versus like, is it fun and will people do it, right? And I think generally people like numbers bigger, so they'll probably opt to the 100 fights more often than not.
I don't know. It says now in development. I expect the next time we hear about this is going to be at the World Championship. I think we'll get.
It's at least a year away. I don't think they're anywhere near it being done.
No, but I think we'll get another video about it.
So
World Champion.
I mean, this is crazy to announce. I'm trying to think of the timeline here, right? Because we have not been announced the next generation yet, right? We're still on Z to A, which is technically a sideline game. I don't think we've seen any new Pokemon at all.
No Gen 10.
I don't think we will either. So,
nope.
Whenever they drop this, they need to do it like either right before a new generation. You really don't want to do it right before a new generation. You kind of want to drop it either like after a year or a couple months after a new generation's dropped, because then you can also pull them into champions, right?
But like to your point earlier, I feel like this is not to compete with a mainline game. If anything, it's supposed to work in conjunction with. So so we're playing our normal Pokemon games, and then hopefully there's some sort of plan so that you can get your Pokemon in there and not take it away from the game that you're playing. That's another ambiguous, like, does my Pokemon leave me, go to the Pokemon Bank, and then stay in Champions? We need to know that deal. But, like, if that is the case, then it should come out whenever.
I think when we were looking at the chart,
which
I don't know if you can find, I'm of the opinion that it has to go, most of them have to go to the bank. Or have to go home, right there. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Pokemon goes a one way, right, for sure. Scarlet and Violet, you can withdraw to and from home. But
Champions connects. So it makes it sound like your Pokemon stay in Pokemon Home while you're using them in Champions, but it doesn't mean that they are stuck there. I think you should still be able to take them in and out of Pokemon Home if you're not like currently using them in Champions.
And it's in that top line right there. At the time of release, only select Pokemon will be available in Pokemon Champions. Not all Pokemon will be available in Pokemon Home, will appear in Pokemon Champions. So it'll probably be like a TCG thing where they have to roll it out one generation at a time, or something like that.
Mhm. So you're not really battling with, say, I guess the economic way to do it is for you to catch multiple Pokemon. It's not like your team that you are using to travel through the video games like Pokemon
Right.
Envisions, right? You're catching like 5 different Quillavas and you're leaving 2 of them in the Pokemon home so those are your Pokemon champion Quillavas. They don't do anything else.
That's the part that I think is possible. So that would be probably like a build your own team format, right? So that's where you take the IVs, the stats, the items, the moves directly from a Pokemon home Pokemon or a Pokemon champion Pokemon, and that's what applies, right? So those people who actually grinded all of those stats, those don't go to waste. You have like the ability to use them in this format.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way it kind of makes sense to me. It's because, I mean, how else do you do it? Is it just
This may be my Kingdom Hearts brain, but personally, I'm like, can't you just use a data version? Can't you put your Pokemon in Pokemon Home so it knows what it is, reads its ID number or whatever, it has all of its stats,
yeah,
and then
it
you can
does.
take it back,
We'll
and you
take
have it in Scarlet and Violet, but the
Oh.
data is being used in Pokemon Home and sending it to champions.
So I think the thing that would be, so if I were the Pokemon company, what I would say is, that's seeming like an easy way to duplicate Pokemon. And while, yes, it's a game, I could see it like, okay, well then now everyone has 10,000 perfect Arceus, perfect IVs, best moveset. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
that's a little
which we
much,
already
right?
have. Let's be real.
I feel
There's
like
going to be a Pokemon glitch.
I mean, there will. But at the same time, with how they've ID'd stats and origins and some other things, it is easier for them to catch them, or at least when it comes to them being put in a competitive format, right? So if you draft it, you're going to get caught. Like, they'll know. That being said, I mean, I'm interested. There's, there's 2 more things I want to hit on. One, the third line here says Pokemon you have originally obtained in Pokemon Champions cannot be deposited into Pokemon Home.
Okay.
That implies
eye.
that there is somewhere where you catch a Pokemon, receive a Pokemon, draft a Pokemon, and it's isolated to that game, right? I don't know if you win it in a tournament or something like that, but that's like whoa.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Maybe it's just like a legality thing, but I don't know. In the second
I could see it doing that. I could definitely see it being like it's either in the original Pokemon when you go to the game corner and you could like win enough coins to get a Porygon. It could be that type of thing, or they're gonna give you like special Pokemon Champions versions of like Pikachu wearing a hat.
Yeah, 100%. I find that line specifically surprising because for the most part, Pokemon. I think the part where it changed my mind was when Pokemon Go Pokemon could be transferred to home. It's like whoa. This goes off a completely different stat block, design, everything, right? You get these weird event versions, and you're still allowing those to go into mainline games. That's hard to do. It takes a lot of time and like integration to do. So the fact that the Champions one specifically says, you can't. It either follows the theory where it pulls the data and you only get to use it temporarily, or there's like something incredibly exclusive about it that you just like can't do. And I think this probably leads to Pokemon Showdown getting shut down. That is like the resident Pokemon fighting website thing. This challenges that market, and that'll be interesting to see.
Pokemon's like, no, we do this now. You're probably right.
This is interesting. This could be really, really big. This could be really cool. It also could suck. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know, because if it is something, because I think next year, 30th anniversary, they're either A, going to announce Gen 10, or B, bring everything to the Switch, all the old games.
We'll see.
So
what I would want out of a next gen game.
Because then you have to think, if they port everything to the NSO, could they make it where you can transfer those Pokemon to Pokemon Home?
Oh, you mean like if they port all the old games in?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, they already have all the IDs and all,
Like,
you
can
can
they
get those Pokemon to Pokemon Home. It's just a pain because you have to go through bank and then from bank to a mainline.
Right, well, that's why I'm saying if they port it
It
to the
has it.
NSO, can we just port it directly from the NSO ports to Home? That would probably be huge.
That's what we would want. But you see in Pokemon Stadium, they've already said, nope, don't think that you can put Pokemon in here.
That's fair.
Ooh.
That's fair. I totally forgot about that Pokemon Home, or the Stadium.
Here's
Port.
the thing. I
Yeah.
think this might be the technical reason why. Because of how those games were coded. I don't think they recoded these games. They just ported them, right? So what I mean by that is when you're talking about moving the data from the game to somewhere else, right? You have literally in the code, you have to set commands for it to work, right? And in the codes in the old games, it's probably something like this, these bits of code, right? These lines of code need to go over, out this physical port on the device, and it needs to stream here over, this channel or something like that, right? And because those instances, I think they're all VMs, right? So when you go in there and you launch Stadium, it's all virtual instance. So it doesn't have like a coded interface to do that. They have to go in there and have to recode to do that like data channel. And I don't think it's worth it for them. Let alone, I mean, you might break something. We're talking about code that's decades old at this point, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to react. So there might be actual technical boundaries there that are just like not worth pursuing. The nostalgia is playing the game, right?
Fair.
I think people would like the Pokemon, but they care more about playing it than having it, right? Maybe.
If you decide to put all of the Pokemon games onto NSO, or even give it its own Pokemon NSO, people will expect for all functionality to work.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a bridge that we should cross when we come to it.
At just some point, I think it would just be really nice to have all of the 2D ones. I think I'm okay if we don't get everything. I just really, really liked the pixel art ones. They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia, all the other things. So
if we got anything, it would be those. It wouldn't be. They wouldn't give us like Alpha Ruby and Sapphire. They wouldn't be doing all that.
I don't know, but they also need to quit butchering them too. We saw what happened with Pearl and Diamond. So
just
maybe
do it good.
Maybe don't go the TV route. Shocker, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what? Just give us Scarlet and Violet in the style of Gold. 100% better.
I'm really surprised they haven't even like toyed around with the idea with the pixel art stuff again. I know it's kind of expensive and like you have to find artists who do just that, and it's not as easy anymore. But pixel art games haven't really died down. They've not really gone away. They're not maybe
They are.
but...
I'd argue that it's escaped its retro vibe, and it is now its own type of game, and that honestly, of anybody, Pokemon cannot say it's too expensive to hire artists.
Yeah.
I would say maybe it's not scalable, right? So I would be even okay with if it's just a sideline Pokemon game that does pixel art, right? Like one-off instances every once in a while. But if you didn't want to do that for the mainline game, I'd kind of understand. Once you get to like 3D rendered objects and like you really want to keep that path because your scales of like how many different games can you cover with the assets, and then also, how it looks and how it's coded it's hard to, like, the whole team has to understand how it's supposed to flow, and you know, there just probably isn't that many 2D artists at that level. I mean,
I know the world is in shambles. I know that things are not the way they used to be, but couldn't you just be like, hey, Capcom, what you doing for the next 6 months? We'll pay you. Hey, Monolith Soft, you got a Pokemon game idea? Go ahead. You know? So maybe when Scarlet and Violet games of that magnitude don't do well, it's okay because you've got Pokemon this and Pokemon that and Pokemon Pinball and Pokemon and all this other revenue.
Yo, did we get Pokemon Pinball on the PC, or is that on the phone, or what?
They ported it to the NSO, but it was a Game Boy Color game, I believe.
The reason why I say that is when I was in California a couple months ago, my uncle had a pinball machine, and it was a Star Wars pinball machine, and I didn't realize how much I liked pinball because I played that game for like a couple hours while I was there. It was pretty fun.
All right, you guys ready for the main course?
They do it.
ZA.
Okay. We'll let the trailer and all that play through, and then we can kind of discuss about it. Right off the bat, though, it does look like Scarlet and Violet, but without the dropped frames.
Yeah.
We'll
but with all of the I just painted this building with windows. It's not actual windows.
Yeah.
Sorry if I pointed that out. Now you see it.
Be very interested to see. I know I say that I've been saying this all day long. Do the final evolutions look different like they did in Arceus? Because they only show us the base form of them. I mean, also not a single new Mega Evolution during this.
Was shown,
right?
Wasn't shown.
Anyways, you were about to say something, Marcus.
I was just gonna say that we have exactly one example of them deciding to do different things at the end, and could it be a pattern? Sure. Could they never do it again? Also sure.
Also sure.
Because this seems to be a direct sequel.
Pokemon Legends ZA is a new title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place
think
in
it's
Lumio City,
more present.
the largest city in the Kalos
It's a prequel,
region.
to be clear.
Prism Tower stands
Or
tall
Legends
at the
are
center
always
of the city of
before.
beautiful vistas.
Not true.
But this is showing AZ
Undergoing a
in
high-tech
town
urban
with his
redevelopment
Floette,
plan to
which
turn
he got
it
at the
into
end of the
a city that
game.
People and Pokemon truly share.
He got it back at the end of the game with white hair.
After you arrive in Lumio City to
This is a
see
He's still got,
you'll
well, it's
meet
gray.
Pokemon,
Yeah,
one
but
of which will become your
this is
first
a
partner.
prequel. They're also
Chikorita,
thousands of years
Tepig,
old.
and Totodile.
Yeah.
You'll choose
And
one
this
of
is
these Pokemon to
pre-developed
accompany you on a
Lumiose,
new
though.
journey as you get to know
This
Lumio
is like a
City
lot of-
and its inhabitants.
Could be wrong.
I don't know. It
Here are
seems
some of the colorful
high
characters
tech.
you'll
Like they're
encounter.
going like high tech into
When
the
you
future.
arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new
I don't
friend
think
and
so.
ally.
Look how old the
Either
wood
Urbane
and the like
or
and
Tawny.
even the drapestries and
The
the
hotel where
clothing.
you'll be
I'm
staying is run
saying-
by AZ.
I think it's. I don't
You'll
think.
also meet his
I think that's
partner,
just their
Chloe.
style.
Lumiose
I'm
City's
saying this is
development
like a
is being
decade or
managed
two
by Blaze
after
Artico,
Black
Inc.
and White,
You'll become
or
acquainted
X
with
and
the
Y.
company's CEO Jet and
Really?
her secretary
Like a decade.
Vinny.
It's like not that
The
far in the
different people
future,
you
but I
meet will
do
make your
think
time in
it
Lumiose
is
all the
like
richer.
ahead.
Why would it be called Legend?
To help people
Maybe.
and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout
Because
Lumiose,
maybe they're
give
going to be
wild
announcing
Pokemon
X and
habitats
Y
where they
too,
can
and
thrive.
maybe that's even farther ahead in the future than this game.
To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim
I don't know how we
throw a
think about
Pokeball.
the Pokemon games continuity. I don't know if we think about it as, you know, Red and Blue being the oldest on the timeline and Scarlet and Violet being the newest. But when they say legends, I just think that they're talking about things that are becoming legend. I don't think it necessarily denotes old.
Or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks.
This is going to be a very nice topic to talk about here.
You need to and find the right moment to unleash a move.
Love this.
What's more, certain Pokemon
so
can go
much.
Beyond evolution by undergoing
it kind of the way that the HUD is set up and everything is, it kind of reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you have your 4 abilities in the corner and they all have a cooldown.
It'll unlock a new level of
That's what I was gonna say.
Tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its transformation into a city that belongs to both people and Pokemon, who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you.
Got the little cells there.
Pokemon Legends ZA. Coming late 2025.
Did you collect those in X and Y, or was that just Sun and Moon?
It was not X.
It was not X and Y, no.
It was...
Okay.
And then this. Another, like...
I don't know what that is.
I don't know, man.
I feel like I need to know some lore and I'm missing it.
Let's see what this guy has to say. Hold on, let's see what he has to say again. I don't think he tells us anything, does he?
No, he doesn't
Legends
tell us
ZA
anything.
is scheduled to release in late 2025.
Late 2025 probably means
We hope
October,
everybody can
November.
wait just a little longer
As per
for your
usual.
adventures in Lumiose City to begin.
Right, November.
That concludes our announcements for today.
Which brings to the first question. Do we think this is a Switch 2 game?
By the way it looks, I don't think so.
The way it looks, they definitely captured this on Switch. But do you think this is going to be on Switch 2?
Well, it's going to be backwards compatible. Do you mean, is it going to be a Switch 2 game, or is there going to be an upgrade for it?
Yes. Because I've kind of seen a lot of back and forth where people think it's just a Switch game. People think it's just going to be Switch 2. People think it'll be Switch 1, but playable on Switch 2.
I don't have a lot of faith in it looking better than it does in this showcase.
I don't know if it matters. I'm thinking about it. I don't think that they change anything software on that Switch. I genuinely don't. I think they literally just rip and replace the hardware, do the Joy-Con thing that they were planning on doing, and rock it out. So I don't think the software matters at all here. It could probably release. It's going to be forwards and backwards compatible, and it probably won't make a lick of difference.
You think this is the way it's gonna look? Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I mean, well, just because you run it on different hardware does not make it look or not better. It just changes the refresh rate and the
refresh rate, like screen tearing,
stuff like-
anti-aliasing, like stuff like that. But like,
stuff,
like it's not gonna fix like the way that they drew it.
the face is how the face looks. Like how it's rendered. If it renders shittily, it's gonna render shittily. It doesn't matter, right? Sometimes it could be your code performance, but it's largely just how the design of the code is, right? So I don't think it matters.
And it does look better than Scarlet and Violet.
I don't think they're postponing it because of the Switch, to be clear. I think they genuinely probably need the time to finish the game, is my guess.
That's fair. I will say, character design, I really like it. I think
Everything but the hat.
Well, okay, right. I'm talking about just the way that it looks compared to like Scarlet and Violet.
Is it not the same? Is it not similar?
I don't know.
Really
I feel like it just gives off a different vibe.
When they took away the option to buy clothes from Sword and Shield and to change the way you look, I was like, oh. So I'm expecting this not to be that different. I'm expecting you to have one outfit. I'm expecting you to have light skin, Spanish, or extra crispy. I'm expecting no in between. I'm expecting no like different hairstyles. You're gonna be this.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
Pokemon hasn't learned how to diversify its character creation.
And now, I mean, they kind of talked about it before, but it's kind of all but confirmed now. The entire game is taking place in this town.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we found out that there were like, what do they call them? Like wild zones,
wild zones.
areas.
Wild areas,
right?
yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
damn, how big is this city? And then it was like, it takes place only in Lunar. So I'm like, damn, how big is this city? Because this is
think there's a
the
map.
first game where you
There
don't
is a
have
map.
a giant wild like outside terrain. I feel like I'm gonna get claustrophobic. I don't- Maybe there's like a hit. Maybe they do it like within where you like go in the tower and you go underneath there and some shit, you know, or maybe you
Yeah.
travel to a different region or you a wormhole or some shit. I don't know, but all of it in just the city seems crazy.
So there's kind of the map of the city
I assume
with some cool
I'm
little
trying to
art
pick out
stuff.
like the gym, areas. What that would look like. Maybe
Gym
the giant
area.
buildings. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
well, it's the boss areas, right? There's always some format of bosses in a region or in a section, right?
Well,
So probably the giant tower in the top
they have.
left.
Well, they have. If you look, I don't know if it's in every zone, but there's those little,
Oh yeah.
little like
There's a
battle,
little arena right there.
little battle
Yeah.
spots there. I don't know if they're like zone specific. So
It
like,
makes
if you-
sense
Mhm.
because you're at this level, you're in this area, you get these level Pokemon. You go to the next area, you solve that. Right. It's very linear normally.
Mm.
Could not be, I suppose.
Do we mess with the subway system at all? Because they showed it right at the beginning of the trailer of you leaving the subway. Do we go back in to do stuff there?
It'd be
Right.
cool to have the taxi system if you remember that.
Uh-huh.
Taxis were fun,
With the Corviknight.
but I haven't seen a car. No, with an actual car.
Oh.
But I mean, that could be too. I don't think there's Corviknights in this one. But
The story begins with you on a sightseeing trip, and then somehow you get in the same hotel owned by AZ. Wait,
You move in.
I'm just saying, it says old hotel. All right, I'm just saying. I think this is old.
the hotel is old.
Nah, I think this is. I think this is pretty.
1,000 years old, and he comes back, gets his Pokemon back, and says, "I'm going to run a hotel."
No, I think this all happened before. I think this is before the war. I think this is really old. Like
Interesting.
They have
pre-war, man.
they have
I
legit
think-
Pokeballs though.
So
They do.
this is a different
And
region.
they have
Not every
holograms.
region developed the same.
Holograms.
Hitsui was really far out in the boonies. I mean,
I don't know. I think with how high tech things are, it does not scream, "Hey, we're super fucking old." I don't know though. They never said.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. You could be wrong. We could all be wrong.
It does. It's not. It's not on the timeline at all. It's in the space-time rift.
Listen, it's not the region's fault that Pokemon Company makes high-res video games. All right, it's all fake. All right, this is meant to be in an old world, and they couldn't follow through. Damn it.
So we have wild zones, which these pillars, they look a lot like the pillars you would see outside of gyms.
Yeah.
Right? With the little Pokemon guy on the top, little dragon guy.
The little icon that doesn't really look like any Pokemon.
But then also one like a root, maybe it's Route 1. Do you think there's gonna
I
be?
think in the video it shows it as like Wild Area 1. He walks
Yeah.
in and it changes its
Okay.
title.
Okay. Wow. There you go.
And in the trailer, the highest number we saw is 8. How many wild zones are there? Is it just 8? Is there more to it? I don't know.
The number could be the difficulty, not even
That could also be it.
like the number of the zone. It could just be like this is 1 through 20, or 2 through 30, something like that.
But how are they going to do different biomes? I'm not seeing a snow area. You know what I mean?
Was weather a thing? I thought I remember seeing some part of this video or some sort of indication that they may have rotating weathers like Unova did in Black and White 2, where you would travel around and the seasons would change, and then the environment around you would change with it.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think we've seen it with this yet.
If you zoom in on the on the battle map, like next, like not the scroll down.
This
In on that picture, yeah. Is there anything there that indicates it, like it's sundial or a temperature gauge or
Enhance.
zoom and enhance?
there is a sun there.
So you could have daytime, nighttime, maybe.
There is a daytime
Probably.
nighttime cycle. They did show in the trailer, like they were showing off different scenes, and it was showing like the sun setting and stuff. They never showed actual nighttime, but we did
That's my
see
toast Pokemon, man.
right.
What are those triangles next to the Pokemon?
Probably
Euro-
catch rate up, right?
Probably catch rate, yeah.
So when you throw the ball at it, what are the chances of it? Either super high, medium, low chance of catching. Without giving you like a
so-
percentile,
The more arrows, the better it is because it's only level 4.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If it's lower HP, the more arrows. If it's poisoned or something, sleep.
I think that's good visual stuff.
A fucking taxi right there. Car.
Abandoned.
Also, shit, that goes
Who
against
parked like that?
of it being old. If there's literally a car.
It is
But I
a
don't
whole
have me.
taxi.
I meant it. I'm not backing
New
off,
battle
so-
system, guys. You walk around, Pokemon walks around, you can dodge in combat. Moves have cooldowns. Something I did want to bring up in the trailer, or in the little video. Here. So, a lot of people are wondering, because, they did differentiate with Final Evolutions, giving them an extra typing. So, like, Typhlosion was Fire Ghost, or was
That's
it Fire
fairy.
Dark?
Mm-hmm.
Why does Chikorita have a Fairy type move? Are we gonna Grass Fairy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Because this was also wasn't X and Y when Fairy type came out, because this is when we got Sylveon.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the Sylveon era.
Yep. So it's possible that they could be making
Okay.
Chikorita into a Fairy type, which then goes to maybe help the thought of them having different final evolutions, which I think was such a great concept in the last Legends game that I don't know. It just seems like something that'd be pretty cool.
Hopefully it's Grass Fairy from the start, right?
So-
And it's not something that's like Meganium exclusive.
here's the thing. How Mega Evolutions were done before, you needed two things. You needed a Mega Bracelet, which you automatically got in the story, and then you needed a gem. So you would give the gem to the Pokemon. It would be a held item, and then you could activate it, giving them the Mega Evolution, and then changing them. So if the fact is you can Mega Evolve it and it doesn't require a held item, that's a little fucking crazy. Because that's kind of why they were good, right? You had to give them a stone. And then, or two, does these base Pokemon have different typings off the rip? That completely changes. Because this doesn't even look like a. What region is this again?
Ooh,
Kalos.
Kalos, is this like an Kalos exclusive Chikorita where it has its own variant, but it looks exactly the same as the other ones, right? So it's not like a region exclusive if it has a different typing.
Well,
I'm not sure.
His Sui and Cyndaquil looked exactly the same until you got the Typhlosion. All three starters looked exactly the same until you got to the final evolution.
Yes.
And they didn't
I'll
have
trust you on that one.
their different typings then until you got that final evolution.
So why does it have it now?
So I
If it
think
doesn't-
that it would have to have had it from the beginning, because if you start swapping or adding, that steps on what they want terrestrialization to be, and they're combining that in Champions and other games. So they don't want to mix. I don't think they want to cross the streams that much.
I'm saying it's really bad. I'm saying not really bad. I'm saying it's. I find it hard to believe that they're going to change a base typing of a Pokemon that's been around forever and have it be like exclusive to this version only, because you would then have to region lock it or something. Because if you transfer it out to home, it's going to have a weird typing, or like the data's not the same. So how do you differentiating it? But it looks the same.
Kalos,
Okay, is it-
Chikorita. Same way they did with Hisuian, Galarian.
Or
Okay.
it just might be locked to this game.
Or that. Because, I mean,
Maybe.
so far they've said nothing about being able to use home with this game. So who's to say that these aren't just game locked
Arceus
Pokemon?
was.
Arceus did end up being
Yeah.
allowed on Pokemon Home, but maybe this won't right
understand.
away, and then they gotta incorporate like this stuff into it. I don't know.
I'm glad you pointed it out, though. That's very interesting.
It could also be something like, I don't know, maybe Chikorita for some reason can just learn fairy type moves. I could be looking way too deep into it. It was just something that was pointed out when I was watching my various other people watching this video. Somebody would point it out. I was like, yeah, that's a fairy type move. I'm like, oh fuck, it is.
I think the craziest idea is if they said, let's change up what types can learn what moves. That would be crazy, right? If they opened
Right.
up that umbrella a little bit. It'd have a ton of different plays. But anyway.
It's wild that it's a cooldown instead of it being points for your moves.
Yeah. Means you can just spam it.
Like, I have a lot of questions about this battle system, because if your Pokemon is tied to your movements and it's gonna step where you step, and its speed, quote unquote, is based on its weight. So like an Onix is not gonna follow you as quickly as a Tepig will. Does that mean the moves that boost your speed and boost your evasion just don't matter anymore?
No, see, that's another topic I was curious about. If they have a higher speed, do they run faster?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because then
I saw in the video where they were like showing the hippo that used the stealth rock and then turned around. It was real slow. I was like, oh.
What about in Arceus? You could feint. You could get hit by a move and feint or an attack. Can you get hit by and or feint in this one too? And if
I
so,
mean, you are actively
like-
dodging enemy
Right.
Pokemon attacks, so you would have to guess.
what was the other thing? Can you command them on, right? So not only do you have like the moves, but can you like make it go far away or come to you or
Right. They didn't really show
don't
that
think
off.
so.
They did not show that.
I don't know how you would do that with the controls that you have.
you press right bumper and then your buttons would have a different set of cooldown or different set of buttons is my first thought.
Okay.
So without pressing the right trigger, normal move set, press right trigger, then you have move commands, right? Maybe something like that.
That sounds involved for Pokemon.
It is.
Also real-time Pokemon battle. So.
It's also real-time Pokemon
Yeah.
battles.
But when you were personally dodging the Pokemon's attacks, you were not in a battle situation.
No, that was
You
in the
can't
wild.
dodge roll in battles.
But
So I don't think that
now-
you can get hit by those moves.
Not in Arceus, but they didn't show off any, like, in actual battles. They didn't show you actually, like, dodge rolling, but that doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm thinking that you become incorporeal. I think that you go full like Smash Brothers, and you're in the background when the battle's happening.
And you're like dodging for your Pokemon. It's shadow. You're shadow boxing with your Pokemon.
Yeah.
And your
I
movement
think
is
so.
dodging the. Okay.
That would be.
I like that idea.
That would probably be the easiest way to not, like, lose a good chunk of people who would play Pokemon games.
Mhm. If
then
you play through that section with the battles, we can probably see what they're doing.
Oh,
they were
I
just
was wrong.
They were just walking around.
So this article, okay, I don't know why I tried to do that. It specifically says that it no longer uses the realistic textures for the background that were used in Scarlet and Violet, so it is different. It's like
Okay.
more, the textures are more cartoonish or like animated looking than the like realistic rocks or stones or bushes or trees and stuff like that. So,
Which I think is a good move because they seem to be rendering a lot better in this trailer.
they also clash against the Pokemon so badly too.
That too.
Yeah.
But you know what else we could be getting? We know we get megas. Could each of these starters standing in front of us get their own mega evolution?
Oh, for sure.
I hope if you're gonna be a starter Pokemon for this edition, you better have a Mega Evolution.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mega Emboar, baby, let's go.
Dude,
Mega Feraligatr.
Yeah.
That better be a steel water type. His jaw better be made of fucking metal, and he better snap.
Oh no.
If he goes
The alligator
I will
from-
throw a fit. I will throw a fit if he turns into the fucking flaming croc that had the microphone. I will
no.
rage. So help me God.
He's gonna be Monty Gator. It's gonna be fine.
Oh man. But yeah, what do we think about this starter lineup? I know we had a little bit of discussion about it before, especially since there's 2 Johto starters, which was kind of whack. Which brings me to, since we're talking about starters, let me pull up our prediction sheet that we made ages ago. Well, but what do we think about the choice of starters?
I feel bad for Chikorita in any situation because Chikorita was not built to last, sadly. But maybe with the fairy typing, maybe with the new mega evolutions and the new moves that it learns, it's much better here.
That's the hope, for sure. Because as much as everyone clowns on Chikorita's final evolution, Chikorita's so fucking cute, dude.
It is adorable.
I mean, without Copium, I think this might be one of the strongest lineups we've had in a hot fucking minute, man. There's not a single one of these Pokemon I wouldn't want on my team. I understand. I love Meganium. I love the final evolution. I think it's so cool. Tepig's a goat, and Feraligatr is solid.
Actually, he's a pig.
Little cross-eyed pig.
Shame on you. I love them. I think this is a good lineup. I couldn't be mad with any of these. To be honest.
I was thinking I might have to, like, if they do have this open for like Pokemon home transfer right away, I might have to just like start 3 separate runs so I can get each starter. Because I'm like, I can't decide right now. I'm just in my head, I'm like, I don't know, man.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I
think the Mega Evolutions, whatever they end up being, is what's gonna probably push any of us to go to any direction.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Which again, they didn't give us any new ones. Not a single new Mega in this video.
They're saving it. They're holding on to it.
Very interesting. I'm very, very interested.
They've also said Pokemon declared this the year of Eevee, so I'm assuming that Eevee is going to get some sort of Mega. I don't know if it's going to do all of them,
we still have not gotten a fucking dragon type Eevee. This better be the year we get a dragon type Eevee. It's the only one we don't
Pretty neat.
have. Or steel. Okay,
Or
fine.
rock.
We don't have dragon or steel or rock. Okay,
Or
give him
fighting.
them all. Yeah, but he's normal
Or
type.
ghost.
That's what to do. Or what?
Ghost.
Fuck! Give me all of them right now. We've been here too long.
Everybody knows how to get the ghost type evolution, and nobody has the
Yeah.
strength to do it holding up rock.
Stop, baby.
He's an animal.
So as I have stated before, Skylar, both you and I did not get a single one of these starters correct.
We use too much logic.
My starters, well, what I projected to be starters, I had 2 of each. Marcus, you had 2 of each, and then Skylar, you just picked 1 of each.
Yeah.
And Caleb also picked 1 of each. But I went with
I guess
Chimchar or
so.
Litten for fire, Snivy or Trico for grass, Piplup or Poplio for water. None of
Damn.
None of it.
So glad it's not Poplio.
Same.
I would
But
also be upset.
Skylar,
she's
you
good.
had Piplup, Bulbasaur, and Fennekin.
I still think that would have been a goated lineup. Piplup has been not like I voted Piplup because he had not been used in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And for Alligator too, I mean he really hasn't. So either one of those are acceptable. And then I said Fennekin. Fennekin hasn't been touched in forever either. That motherfucker, he got the magic wand of flame magic and then disappeared from every game and every instance again.
Yep.
And
It was a
then,
stupid ear hair.
I still
Did I say
think,
Bulbasaur?
yeah.
That was kind of like a throw pick. I was just like,
My
yeah,
boy.
we haven't got Bulbasaur in a hot minute. Maybe
Bulbasaur's my son.
I think the main
Yeah.
thing against
I think
Fennekin
Venusaur.
is that this is a generation where you got Fennekin.
I don't care. They just gave us 2 of the same generation. Clearly, they're not playing by rules.
No
Alright?
rules.
What I'm
They're
saying
just
is,
throwing shit out there.
I
but-
expect to find a Fennekin.
Yeah.
I expect to
What?
find
No.
a Froakie.
Nope. No way. Maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
in Legends Arceus, there was other starters. I know for a fact there's a Chimchar because I have a Fernape on my team in Arceus.
Yeah.
There was a little Chimchar in Fernape pit for some reason.
But Marcus, you won with 2 out of the 3 correct
Ooh.
on starter predictions. The only one you missed was Grass, which you voted Bulbasaur or Chespin.
I really wanted Bulbasaur.
I think I stacked those. I stacked the odds against you by picking Bulbasaur. I think. I stacked against you. I'm so sorry.
So you voted Totodile and Tepig. Your other choices were Froakie or Torchic.
Yeah, because I think that Blaziken running around the city would have been dope.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have a chance because Blaziken has a Mega Evolution. There's always a chance that maybe they put him in the game anyways.
I need it. It's gonna be so great.
I would like to see, because Blaziken is like a top 3 fire starter for me.
Mm-hmm.
Might even be top 2.
The speed. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, power up punch into Blaze Kick, man. It was goated. All right, it was just the magic sauce. Plus, he had speed boost. It was insane. It was just a freak of nature.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just the open jeans, but I just like the fit. I like the vibes.
Yeah, it's a good fit. If it's gonna be the whole game, at least it's good.
I do agree. They do need to have some form of customability. Is that even a word?
Mhm.
I don't know, dog. But
Customization.
yeah,
Freak.
but yeah, that was it. Fits
Words are hard.
look good. First Pokemon, fucking dirtbass. I fucking love him.
Totodile. Also, Chikorita is the
He's
tallest.
20 pounds?
He's a
Tepig's
fucking
21
big
pounds.
boy.
Jeez. Ravenous Glutton. That's just rude. Eat the
These
people.
are
This is our rival.
rival.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those sweats are dope, and I want them.
The appearance you choose at the beginning game will determine which one of them. So I wonder if it's like if you pick the boy, you get a girl. If you pick the girl, you get the guy, or if it's like same.
100%.
Same.
Usually how it goes.
Sitting at over 9 feet tall, he's the owner of the Hotel Z and claims to be 3,000 years old.
So
Hold on.
He's got a knee
Can we
brace.
do some cheaty math? Hold on. Can we do some cheaty math? How old does he say he is when we meet him in X and Y?
How old does as say
Zay.
in X and Y? Roughly 3,000. Oh. Yeah, 3,000.
This is the sequel.
I won't give up. Hold on. What is this? Okay. No, go back. Oh, I was reading the most important line. How could you do this to me?
It literally said, and Skylar is correct about, and then you cut it off.
There you go.
This war 3,000 years ago set in motion the events necessary to create Mega Evolution inadvertently, fusing the astral energy. So, Mega Evolution happens after. So, war happens, he loses Float Soul. Fuck, this has to be a sequel. Because he gets the Float Soul at the end of X and Y. Get. Alright, I might have been wrong.
It's okay, buddy.
I like his fit, though.
Yeah.
His poor knee, though. He's got height issues. This lady's definitely not evil.
You can't tell me that these people aren't the bad guys.
He's not. He's not
evil
either.
What are you talking about?
There's no evil.
He's definitely
here.
he's definitely got the evil guy like mutton chops.
No, look, it says Vinny is a large man
who wears sunglasses. The great description. Great description.
That's who he is.
Green gloves and shoes. That's an interesting choice.
Wait, is that what Lysander wears?
But red, probably. Also, the green could be related to the Z's.
Is that Pokemon bones in his hair?
I thought it was the panda guy. The panda Pokemon. But, like, small or something. Pancham? Whatever it is. Zygarde.
Made up of multiple cell-like components. It shows in 10% form he's a doggo. And then 50% form is snake.
Snake.
Goes from 73 pounds to 672 pounds.
Oh my.
Put that by 5 real quick. Hold on. What's the number? That's not the same. 10% to 50%. So I said, well, what's 10%? Okay, never mind.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, it is, math.
And then that's the complete form.
I don't remember doing this in that game.
It was really hard to do. You had to go and find. Also, it's not an X and Y. You had to go and find each of the cells. You had to literally collect 100 of them, and then they would form together, and you'd fight them and catch them. It was a pain in the butt to do.
I'm so mad what they did to him.
Strong bond with Keystone must be worn by a trader resonating with a Megastone held by the Pokemon. Okay, so they're still sticking with the Keystone Megastone thing.
I think they even made it tougher because it looks like you're on a counter in the battle. I think it runs out.
Yeah, I probably have to. But that means that the idea that they get a different typing on Mega Evolution is too much. My brain.
They're basically Digimon.
I'm a little surprised they came back with X and Y again. with
I'm not.
Charizard, to be honest.
I'm not. People are
Feels like-
still.
Mega Kangaskhan is like, don't look at me or
How
my
does
son.
Mega Gengar not hit this list? But Mega Altaria did. That's crazy. That bitch is a cloud.
It
and nobody
still
likes her.
just says releasing simultaneously. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Very long discussion, so thank you for staying up with us and hanging out with us. Very excited to see what Pokemon has next. And I'm very excited to see what Nintendo has in store for us for 2025. We'll be back April 2nd. I'll be live streaming the Switch 2 Direct. Be looking out for that. I will be up very early for that. Very excited. And you can catch Marcus over at his channels and his Twitch. I will put all that down in the description below, as well as catching both of these guys in our D&D podcast, The Reclamation, which can be caught on my channel. That is about everything I have. So, folks, thank you so much for coming in and having this discussion with us. Leave down below your comments and thoughts about Pokemon Day 2025 and how it stacks up. And we'll bid you all a farewell and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.